You are the universe, and I am the universe. Peace. Under every condition, love unconditional. Am I making all of this up? This is Alexis coming to you again with another raw flow. That's me. Let's get to the book. It's called Entering the Heart of the Sun and the Moon, a beautiful view of how to see the world. Do they argue if it's the truth? No, and it's a beautiful way to look at the world. This is how the world is. This is what I believe. And it's a beautiful way to look at it. And it needs to be like this because the truth. I see that a lot of my insistence, like for example, the way I think about God or the creator or source, however you want to talk about divine presence, divine order to this existence. It's like I've even I put God into a box. I put God into a box and said this is what God is, this is what God is not. And so I see that this insistence is like kind of this like fixed compensation to say what reality is and what it's not. This book blows away the concepts and the conditioning of what reality is and what you think it needs to be. Let's create a view of reality, of humanity that has the consequent behavior of connection, joy, healing, enthusiasm. Okay, well, let's start even more simply on the basic principle that underlies all of how I see reality and all of vision. Be nice. That's pretty much it. My whole existence is founded on this principle, this request. Be nice, and be nice to that which is being nice. Yourself. Can we live on the edge of existence, on the edge of the known, looking over the cliff into the canyon of the unknown, to the unexpected, to the undefined? I have no problem with comfort or satisfaction, but when we get to a point where this comfort and the satisfaction begins to calcify our brains and ossify, make inflexible and rigid our perspective on life, on what reality is, this can become a problem. It became a problem for me because I had my fixed way that reality was, and any kind of compromise on my vision was like this completely debilitating surrender. And so the process of letting go, of not knowing how strong you are till you have no choice, when tragedies and traumas come, which at the beginning we think can only be this devastating, dark, miserable thing, ends up being the portal to new life, to freshness. There's a quote that says, "Isn't it awesome to die before you die?" Meaning, isn't it awesome to let your fixed, mistrustful, alienating, any kind of compromise idea of identity as this separate thing, as a separate ego, as a object, as a world in which objects relate to objects, isn't it awesome for that to be just completely pierced and dismantled and dissolved in this lifetime? Isn't it awesome for that to be just completely pierced before your flesh goes on to whatever, before the flesh dies? Isn't it awesome to have this opportunity now to awaken, to dissolve delusions and illusions? I saw it happen to my dad, and it's happened to me And what my aunt Clarissa said is, it's about time someone broke your heart. Sometimes our beliefs, our convictions, our points of view, our assessments, our considerations become ossified. They become like reality to you. And yeah, we need to choose our reality, but when these things end up alienating and just consuming our joy and consuming our possibility for connection, because these points of view sometimes are founded on delusions, on mistrustful delusions. Trust me on that, because I've lived for years and years and years insisting on being right about the way I saw the world, and this perspective, this worldview was founded and grown out of distrust. It was grown out of survival mechanisms and defense mechanisms. It had the impact of alienating me, suppressing my self-expression, keeping me like this clog. My stream of consciousness was clogged to no end, no end. That's what this book would call form clinging. I was clinging to my concepts, to my ideas, to my version of reality, and any kind of compromise would just crumble the whole thing. I was divorced within, basically. The male and the female aspects of my humanity were divorced to each other. Consider that your perspectives, your diagnosis of what reality is, your considerations may be outdated, and it could be time to upgrade your gray matter, because it matters. And what I've learned through choice and through circumstance is that wherein lies your deepest weakness is the possibility, the potential for a portal to healing and to your next life, to your elevation of consciousness, to the shedding of illusion, and to the cleansing of perception. This life is a funny thing